Hey guys, welcome to Snake Nook. I'm Vanny and this is Little Astro. He's my Indonesian carpet python. Yes, I'm still using the sleeve just in case, but he's doing a whole lot better. The Indonesian carpet python is also known as a Papuan carpet python. So today is all about some updates. I'll give you an update on how Little Astro is doing. We just cleaned his tub, and also two of my other carpets are getting an upgrade in their enclosure. Also, I've got an update on science, so for these updates, you're going to want to stay tuned. Here is little Astro going back in his nice, clean home. I almost dropped him. Okay, there he is. I'm holding on to him. There's Astro. And there's the Astro. What you doing, Astro? What you doing? Not sure? Not sure? Oh, he's not sure. Yeah, so this is his setup. He's still in a tub setup for now. He's, fairly small. He does really well in this setup. So, he's got, the warm side is actually on the left in this case. All of this is the cool side. And he's got a few perches. He's still small. He's under a year old. And he's a carpet, so he's not a big snake. So this is his setup right here. And he's just gonna chill in there until I'm gone, because he usually likes to go underneath the layers of the newspaper. He'll go under there. But that's little Astro, my Indonesian carpet python. Stardust is getting an upgrade. He is my little coastal carpet python, and he's moving from a tub into a 36-inch by 18-inch by 18-inch EcoFlex enclosure. Some of the things that were already in his enclosure are now going into this new enclosure. So we're going to be making the move in just a little bit. We're going to go ahead and surprise him with an upgrade. Okay, so this is where our little coastal carpet python has been for the last several months. Plenty of room for him. He had it all set up with perches, a hammock, hides, 2 water bowls. He had a lot of stuff in there. He was really cozy. So we'll see how he does going into his enclosure. He just ate last night. There's Stardust. Some of these things are his from his previous enclosure. Now he even gets a bed tray. He likes it. I think so. What do you think, Stardust? You like the upgrade? We'll have to add a couple of other decor pieces in there for him to enjoy, but for now he's got some of the things that he had in his other habitat, and a brand new bed tray there for him. And that one I found it at Walmart. It's not an IKEA bed tray. This one is a smaller bed tray, and I had to order that through Walmart. Where did he go? Corner. All right, so he's actually in this corner. So I see that he went straight to his old plant. So he finds that object familiar, comfortable for him. So he's checking that out. He got some extra perches. Those are bird perches, guys, that you can use for snakes. All right. And they work really well when they're younger, and also when they're older, they're fine too, because you can just get bigger bird perches. And you really don't have to do anything. You don't have to make any major alterations to the habitat, to the enclosure in any way, other than to maybe just drill to accommodate the screw. But other than that, you really don't have to do anything. And if you ever needed to remove those and replace them with bigger ones because the snake got bigger, you can do that. It's easy peasy. Just get larger purchase. So next up for an upgrade, also moving into a 36-inch by 18-inch by 18-inch EcoFlex new H-Pet EcoFlex enclosure is Nova, and she gets some pretty cool bird purchase too. We'll have to put some of her decor that she already has in there, but look at that, guys. We're just using bird purchase, so these are just some purchase that you can get on Amazon, nothing special. So she is going into this EcoFlex enclosure. I went ahead and added a clip of Calypso. She's one of 2 of our female inlands. She's about 2 years old, or almost 2 years old, and she's always on her purchase. And I wanted to show you that you can use purchase in an enclosure like the one that I have here. So this is all of our enclosures are New H-Pet EcoFlex, and the material really lends itself for us to be able to use purchase like this. So we put the bolts through the slits of the cages, and then if we just need to adjust by drilling a little bit to accommodate the width of the bolt, then we can just do that. So in her enclosure, she has a bed tray, shelf, more purchase on the other side. When she gets bigger, if we need bigger purchase, and we can always do that. Nothing here is staying here permanently. I don't have a fake background for her. It's just basically a plastic bed tray. She has a shelf that is removable, purchase that are removable, and I can always change them out if I want to give her something different so that she's not bored. So nothing major going on here, guys, and just these purchase come with everything that you need to set them up, basically, like just you know, all the pieces that you need is what I'm saying. And they're not just for wire cages. As you can see, I'm using the slits that are on the side of the cage, and I'm working with what is on there so that I can set up the purchase. So we don't have to do anything extra really. Other than maybe just accommodate the width of the bolt. Now back to little Nova. Let's see how she's doing. So she was in a bit of a bigger tub. This is Nova. And Nova was in is just moving out of a 75 liter 479.3 quart tote. And we've been moving things out of here into her new setup, and that's where she's gonna go. Some of these things are gonna follow her so that she has some familiar objects in her new home. So I'll show you real quick what we got going on here. So we got this bed tray that's gonna be Misty's bed tray, and we also have Hurricane, just for the fun of it. Hurricane is enjoying some time out of his enclosure. He's gorgeous, guys. Look at that. Look at this beautiful snake. He's just absolutely gorgeous. But no, you can't get in there, Hurricane. You cannot get in there. No, sir. That enclosure is not for you. He's just looking. This was actually Stardust's little hammer. All right, so now Nova's going in. Check out your new enclosure, Nova. There she goes. So Nova is, she's an Indonesian carpet python, or a Papuan carpet python. And she's just checking everything out. Some of these things are familiar to her because they were in her previous habitat. There you go. There you go, little Nova. There you go.
Exploring, huh?
Yeah, she's exploring everything.
Right to her warm hide.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she's gonna get comfortable there. She's like, I know this hide. This is my hide.
Oh, baby.
But I see she came back out to check stuff out, but I'm still here, so she's just gonna wait. Yeah, but this is her a new habitat. There she goes. What you up to, Hurricane?
Baby.
Were you helping us? Were you helping us upgrade those 2 carpets? Were you? Yeah. Yeah, the Hurricane. Hurricane was being really helpful. Of course he was, because he's a helpful snake. Hurricane's a helpful snake. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Oh, crap.
The Hurkity, helpful snake. Now we're in Cyan's enclosure, and I wanted to show you give you guys a quick update on how he's doing. So he's actually doing really, really good. I don't have overhead heat. And for those of you wondering, how do I heat up this enclosure? If that's the case, I don't use overhead heat, but what I use 2 heat mats. I use one on the right side, on the side of the enclosure right under the slits, and then I use one in the back. And all of this stays on the right, and he's got his Reptibark here to help with humidity. So that keeping the Reptibark moist and having the heat on that side with the Reptibark on that side, it does help to keep up that humidity. And he's got plenty of heat. I have the hygrometer and thermometer on this side because he keeps knocking it down. It is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is on his cooler side. That's what it's the temperature's registering at on the left side. And that humidity dropped several points because several degrees because I've had this open for a while. I actually removed the doors, and I'm going to be cleaning out his enclosure because he went potty. And so that's proof that there is sufficient heat in here without using overhead heat. He did have a couple of good poops, solid, and looks normal and healthy. So I'm not concerned about not having overhead lighting. And so I'm just pointing to where the heat mat is on the outside of the enclosure. So I do have 2, one on the right side, one on the back to the right. So the right side of the enclosure, on the lower level of the enclosure as well as on the upper level, does have heat for him, and every now and then he uses that side. But he likes to rest a lot in the middle of the enclosure and also on the left of the enclosure, which is normally at about 80 degrees, or I'll let it cool down as much as about 79. When I mist him, that temperature does go lower momentarily, well, for a couple hours, and then it'll rise back up. It'll go down to like 77 degrees when I first do misting, and that humidity rises all the way to about 90%. The temps will drop a few degrees, but over the course of about 3 hours, that just goes right back up. Humidity goes down, temps go back up to about 80 degrees. So he's doing really good. I think everything is working out for him in this enclosure, so I don't see any major changes that I have to make. I think I'm going to keep everything as is for the time being. And like I said, I missed this guy twice, once in the morning, once in the evening. So he's doing really well. I'm just going to prove to you guys that he's going potty normally. So he does have solid poop down there. He's got a couple of them, and so I do monitor this, guys, because I want to make sure that he is digesting, that the heat that I provide in his enclosure, because I'm not using overhead heat, that it is sufficient to help him metabolize his food. And so it looks good so far. The only thing I'm going to be pending with Cyan is going to be his shed. So his 3rd shed with me is coming up soon, I hope. So I've now started taking his hide, the one on the lower left of the enclosure. You can see the poop there. It's solid. He's got urates. Everything's looking good. He's been going potty normally, so I know that there is enough heat in here. He's metabolizing his food normally. Everything's going well for him. The only thing, like I said, will be that shed, as I was talking about a bit ago, but that remains to be seen because I need to wait for that 3rd shed to happen, which I think will be soon. But yeah, other than that, everything is looking good for him. The setup that I'm currently using is working for him. So for a nocturnal snake, you don't always need overhead heat. If I can avoid using overhead heat, I do. He's not a lizard. I don't expect him to bask, so I'd rather not use overhead heat if I can avoid it and provide adequate heat for him using heat mats. I did some misting because I've had the doors off of his enclosure because I've been cleaning, and so it got pretty dry in here. So I decided to do some misting while I was still cleaning up. So he's now he's now enjoying a little more humidity in there while I take care of all of this. So I'm actually going to take everything out, like the newspaper, the painter's plastic I have at the bottom, and we'll redo all of that for him. But yeah, just kind of bring up that humidity for a little bit. I misted all of his fake foliage in there, everything that's in there, got a mist down, and that way he's got some moisture because it's been a while that we've had the doors off, and so he's been dealing with some really low humidity in here, so we just decided to bump it up. Once I put the doors back in here, I'll make sure that that humidity's still up for a while. But so far so good, guys. I've been keeping him like this for several months now. It's been working out. The only major change I say I've made is basically just adding more artificial plants than I had originally. Just making sure he's got lots of cover, and those artificial plants is what's getting misted, and so I made sure that I doubled up and even tripled on what he originally had, and I think that that's been working a lot better. So I am going to put the hygrometer and thermometer combo thing back in the middle at some point, but he keeps dropping it, so I'll wait and see. Maybe I'll have to get another one so I can have 2 of those in here. But so far so good with Mr. Cyan, so just pending that shed and see how that goes. But other than that, everything's been working out. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Thank you so much for spending some time here at Snake Nook. We certainly appreciate your company, and we hope to see you here again next time. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe and hit the like button. Y'all have a good one. Bye.